So it took me a lot longer than I expected it to, but I completed the Bloodborne Old Hunters DLC, and wow, um, you know, when I completed Bloodborne, a lot of you told me to go play this DLC because it's one of the best DLCs ever made. It's better than the main game. It's harder than the main game. It's extremely difficult. And I felt like by the time I finished Bloodborne, I was pretty good, right? And I was ready. And that wasn't really the case, at least not as I got further into the DLC. I really enjoyed the DLC, but I will say this, that final boss, Orphan of Kos, I believe. Wow. Almost to the point where it's not fun. I had such a struggle with this final boss. I almost quit and was just gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna talk about the DLC. But luckily, I persisted. It took me literally days, and there were many times I had to just walk away from it, put the controller down, take a long break. But I did it, and I'm actually shocked I did it. But it was yeah, it was an intense experience, man. I think the Old Hunters DLC is a very, very well done DLC, and the thing I can appreciate most about it is the fact that it feels like a complete package, and it feels like it actually substantially adds to the base game of Bloodborne. Not just in terms of content. I was pretty surprised at how long it was. I was expecting it to be shorter. So I was surprised by that, but I was also surprised by how much. I don't know why I'm surprised. I mean, I know I should kind of expect this from software at this point, but it was really nice to see how much lore it kind of added to the game, to see what it was like during the first days of the hunt and whatnot, and seeing Ludwig. I thought that was pretty cool when he picked up the Moonlight Sword. I was kind of surprised by that. It totally reminded me of Dark Souls. Wasn't expecting it. But the bosses were really cool. The areas were very cool. I thought the boss, Living Failures, was kind of funny. But I'd say I probably had the most frustrating moments fighting Lady Maria and then Orphan of Kos for sure. They were tough, but the final boss, man, like I was wondering what some of you guys were talking about when you were saying if you think the base game's hard, wait till you play some of the bosses in the DLC. And I thought, I don't know. I mean, it won't be that tough, right? I mean, I beat the game. I'm ready to go, but I guess it kind of makes sense since the DLC came out afterwards that they do ramp up the difficulty. But overall, yeah, I had a very satisfying experience with the Old Hunters DLC. It was a meaningful add-on to the game, and I can totally see now why a lot of you were saying this is actually better than the base game, because there's some really cool moments in there. Fighting a lot of hunters, which was very cool. A lot of new weapons, a lot of interesting weapons, for sure. I know a lot of people tell me I use like the worst weapon because I use the hammer, or the Kirk hammer, but I don't know. I've just kind of gotten used to it, so because of that, I just kind of stick with it. So yeah, I'm not, you know, I'm gonna be really surprised if a Bloodborne 2 doesn't end up being made, because after playing Bloodborne and now the DLC, there's just something so cool about this setting, something just so unique and fascinating about it, right? It seems like they did get a little bit away in this DLC from the Cosmic Heart, just a little bit, just a tad. But I think it makes sense because you're technically going back in time. You're in the Hunter's Nightmare. So very, very cool stuff. I did enjoy it. It was a really good experience, a really frustrating experience. I'm not going to lie. It was way more frustrating than I expected it to be at the end, and really, really pushed me to my limits. And all I can say is that I'm glad to finally be done with it in a way. But at the same time, I'm really hoping that in the future we do get some more Bloodborne, because this world, man, I'd love to know more about it. I'd love to see, more created and more stories told within this universe and this world, and I think a lot of other people feel that way. So yeah, I'm going to keep this video relatively short, guys, because the DLC was a lot shorter, but man, it was crammed with a lot of stuff. About 5 bosses, I believe, in total. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Really glad I played Bloodborne. Really glad I took the time to play the DLC. And for anybody wondering, I'm moving on to Spider-Man next because I'm just really eager to play that. And I've heard, really, really good things about it. So probably going into April, I'll talk about Spider-Man, give a review on Spider-Man, and then after Spider-Man, I will probably do Horizon Zero Dawn, and we can continue going down this path of games that I've missed, but I want to play. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for my Bloodborne Old Hunters DLC review. Very, very good stuff here. Very frustrating at times, but overall, one of the more densely packed DLCs I've played in a very long time. A very complete package. Definitely added substantially to the main game and added a lot of really cool weapons and all that really, all that good stuff that we look for in DLCs these days that just seems like we're getting less and less of. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Leave the video a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification and feel free to share the video out on top of all that as well. But until next time, guys, take care.